Hello everyone, this is Michael-75, and I would like to do a Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck showing for my Warrior / Heroic Beatdown deck. I think the best way is to put it. It's a combination of some of the old gen cards with some of the new gen cards, and something I'm a little bit mixed about. But I want to go ahead and show you some of the stuff that I have so far for this deck. I first have a Silent Swordsman LV5, unaffected by spell cards, so it's good for some of those situations if you don't want a monster to be destroyed by a spell. A Cyber Dragon for special summoning on a turn where I don't have any monsters. Have two Exiled Force, tributing them to destroy one monster on the field. It's pretty annoying for some opponents. Then I have two Marauding Captains, normal summoning it and then special summoning another level 4 or lower monster from my hand onto the field. So I like to use that in combination with Exiled Force. Goblin Attack Force, obviously. Downside is it has to change its position to defense at the end of the battle phase, and it can't change its position for 2 turns pretty much. Then I have two Search Strikers. Attack a face down monster, they can destroy it automatically without having to flip it face up or apply damage. However, for these, they act the same as Goblin Attack Force, so have to watch out for that. Now, the next set of cards I'm about to show you are actually ones that I got from Return of the Duelist series. So, I have two Goblin Marauding squads. Only have 1900 attack from its counterpart, but when you declare an attack, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects. So that means monsters, spells, and traps. And any effects on the field that would normally activate don't activate. So I thought it was a pretty good card to deal with. But again, they changed their battle position to defense at the end of the battle phase. Now, for the heroics, I have two heroic Challenger-Spartans. Once per turn, pretty much and it's just pretty much on your opponent's turn. They should have just said that. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, hopefully it'd be this one, but you can choose one other face-up heroic monster you have on the field, except for itself, and then you would gain attack points equal to the face-up monster you selected. So if you had another one and it was like, I don't know, 1700 attack or something, it'd be automatically 3300. And it would stay that way until the end of the battle phase, which is nice. Next, I have two heroic Challenger-Swordshields. During either turn, I think this is a pretty cool effect. Sending this card from your hand to the graveyard for the rest of the turn. You can take no battle damage, and heroic monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle, which is very nice. I actually like that ability. The next two that I got, they're rares, by the way. I'm surprised. Heroic Challenger Dual Lance, or Double Lance, excuse me. Pretty interesting effect. It acts the same way as Marauding Captain, but it only works for itself. Says here, when this card is normal summon, you can special summon one heroic Challenger Double Lance from your hand or graveyard in face-up defense, which is nice. It can't be used for Synchro material monsters. It cannot be used for XZ material except for the XZ summon of a warrior type monster. So they didn't leave it out of the bat for good. Two other cards that I have in here, Rare Metal Dragon, could just be good for a just if I needed to discard a card, or in combination with Marauding Captain in case my opponent, has another monster. Well, not another monster, but just for backup offense. And then I have a Gigantes. You can special summon him by removing one earth monster in your graveyard from play, or yeah, removing the monster in your graveyard from play. And when this card is destroyed as a result of battle and sent to the graveyard, destroys all spells and traps on the field. So it's like having a heavy storm for a monster. And it's also good to kind of back up if I needed a tribute summon for the Silent Swordsman or any other higher level monster that I have here. So these are the monsters I have put in here so far. But there were two that I was not sure about. And I have two Heroic Challenger Warhammers. They're both level 6. And what they do is when they destroy a monster in battle, they can equip that to themselves and their attack increases equal to the attack on the card that is equipped to them. Which I thought was pretty cool, but it's a little bit challenging to bring them out. So that's why I had the Gigantes here, to use it as a tribute for one of these guys just in case. And then the other one I could bring back with the special summon like Monster Reborn or whatever. Now, I was a little bit, I'm not sure how to say this, but I'm not sure if this would be good for the kind of deck that I'm running here. But I did pull 2 sword breakers from the packs that I got today. And their ability, and it's for 2 level 6 monsters, which you got these guys right here. And it says here, once per turn, you can detach 1 Exiled material from this card to declare 1 monster type. Pretty much, if it attacks the type that you declared during that turn, it's automatically destroyed. So I thought it was a pretty cool card. But again, I'm not familiar with Exi. It's been almost, I don't know, 5 years since I've last seen Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, for real. So I'm still thinking about what I can do with this. Again, and I'm going to say it in the video description, I have not tested this deck out at all. I just made it today. So I would like to try it out somewhere, but I can't find a place where they do Yu-Gi-Oh! Other than Fine Art of Baseball. They used to do it at Books A Million around here, but they don't do that anymore. So yeah. So that's what I have there for the monsters. So it's all effect monsters and then the 2 Exi monsters that I have here, Sword Breakers. They look pretty cool because they have all that weaponry and crap on them. Alright, for the spell cards, I have Pot of Avarice. So returning monsters back to the returning cards back to my deck, so I can use the double lance again, just return one of them and then special summon the other one, no problem. Monster Reborn to special summon any monster I desire. My body as a shield, so having this against to counter Dark Hole, Torrential Tribute, Lightning Vortex, those kind of cards. 2 Warrior returning alive. So if I wanted to bring back an Exiled Force, I can do that and just pop my opponent on the next turn. Reinforcements of the army to move cards about. So level 1 or lower warrior type monster from my deck to my hand. 2 Nobleman of Crossouts to get rid of the face down cards. A Dark Hole. I may consider putting replacing one of these cards for a Lightning Vortex, but again, I haven't tried this deck out, and I just made it today, so it's not always going to be perfect. Then I got a Heavy Storm, and then I have 2 Mystical Space Typhoons. And yes, I double checked just to make sure. They are not limited. They are not semi-limited. You can have 3 of these in here, but to the cards that I wanted to have right here, I only limited down to 2. Now for the trap cards. Trap cards, I'm not worried about destroying a monster or whatever. It's more or less to negate attacks and to build up my force on my side of the field, so my opponent gets overwhelmed. I have Threatening Roar, so this can be activated at any time. Your opponent cannot declare an attack this turn. Thunder of Ruler, same effect as Threatening Roar, except you have to activate it during their standby phase. The other one, oh, I didn't put the other one in. Oh well. The new trap card that I have right here is a heroic Retribution Sword. You select one heroic monster you control, equip this card to the target. Pretty much it's like a, I wouldn't want to say like a Ring of Destruction card, but you take whatever battle damage you get involving that monster is also contributed to your opponent. And after damage calculation, destroy any opponent's monster that battles the equipped monster. I think I might actually, there might be a trap card. I think Battle Mania would be good for this if you did Heroic Retribution Sword on, like, Warhammer and then do Battle Mania. So, but anyways, then I have 7 Tools of the Bandit to negate trap cards. Then I have Spell Shield Type 8. Long ago from Magician's Force. And it can do one of the following. Negate the activation and the effect of a spell card that designates one monster on the field as a target and destroy the spell card. So that's kind of like, I don't know. I can't think of one. Just a card that affects one monster on the field. Send one card from your hand to the graveyard to negate the activation and the effect of a spell card, so that's any spell card, and destroy it. And to solve the problem with some of the cards that would go into defense mode, I am going to put in 2 final attack orders. It might be a little bit overdoing it, but this is just to be certain that if one of my cards right here gets destroyed, then I always have a backup plan. But this is my whole setup for the warrior deck. I'll also provide a list down below in the description. But that's my deck. And again, I am open to criticism. I am open to any suggestions that you may have. And my only main concern about this video for this deck is with the use of the Warhammers, and then if I should involve Swordbreaker at all for this deck. I haven't bought cards in like years, so I only have what I had before. I kind of retired from Yu-Gi-Oh! And what I got today at the store. So go ahead and leave your comments down below. I'd like to thank you for taking the time to check this video out. And I will release an update video whenever I can if any changes were made to this deck. Thank you. And this is Michael Ja, 75, signing out. Brilliant.